Good morning, evening, or afternoon to all of you beautiful people. Josh here, back to bring you some different voice-based content. So, I originally had a different video planned for this week, but I didn't feel like I could make it without talking about MCM first. As a lot of you may know, I went to MCM with a bunch of my voice actor / content creator friends, and I wanted to talk about the fact that it felt very different this time, and I'm quite excited for the fact that it felt different. So let's talk about it. Without any further ado, let's go. So to give you a bit of context, I used to go to MCM pretty much every year, most years twice a year, and I've been doing that since 2014, 2015. And it was good. It was good times. I look back on them very, very fondly. We used to plan our cosplays sort of months in advance and try and get group cosplays where we could. Or if one of us just really wanted to cosplay something, then we did that. Like, it was good. It was great. It was a good time, and I do hold those memories near and dear to my heart. But I kind of fell out of love with cosplaying over the last couple of years, mostly due to the community at large. It's not the worst community in the world, but it is still pretty toxic. I mean, cosplayers are constantly shadow banned and blocked on TikTok and Instagram for just the smallest of things, and there's a constant sense of gatekeeping in the community. It's just, I kind of just distanced myself from it a fair bit. And the world of content creation kind of took its place, and I found in content creation, and especially in voice acting, the community was so wonderful and caring, and that was really cemented for me this weekend. I've never felt more part of a community than I did this weekend at MCM. So why did this year feel different? Well, I didn't feel like I was going to MCM as a cosplayer this time. I felt like I was going as a content creator and voice actor who was cosplaying. It just felt good. It felt wholesome. It felt like I was part of a community that just really looked after each other. And I sort of, as the day went on, kind of shifted my focus in terms of what I wanted. The usual bits were still there. I still explored and looked at the stalls and spoke to a bunch of the vendors who were there and did all that sort of thing. But my main priority was meeting content creators who I admired and who I looked up to. Getting the chance to speak to Eddie and tell him what his videos have meant to me and how much he means to me, and the fact that every single time I put on one of Eddie's videos, it always makes me smile. And getting to speak to Dan Layton about his shift in his career, moving from the content that he originally did over to the stuff that he's doing Parts of Unknown. And just talking about wrestling with him and figuring out that he's been a wrestling fan for about the same amount of time as I have. And it's so cool when you can bond with a content creator over shared interests. But the two biggest things to come out of that weekend for me were meeting Tom Scar for the second time, and not being able to stop smiling for the whole event. So let's talk about Tom Scar first. It meant so much to me to be able to tell him what his content has done for me as a person, how it's changed me, and the fact that the career that he's crafted and created for himself is incredible. He's been at this for so many years, and he's still so relevant on the platform. And of course, getting to tell him that he, as a content creator, inspired me to start content creating. He was one of my biggest influences as a YouTuber, and a lot of my comedy comes from him. Getting to tell him that he inspired me in some ways to be a voice actor, because a lot of the projects that I want to be a part of are things that are similar to Crash Zoom, Ed's World, that kind of thing. In his words, he truly did fuck up a generation. And the other thing was the fact that I could not stop smiling the entire weekend. From meeting Flap for the first time, picking him up from the airport, to scaring the shit out of Lou when we first saw them, to finally meeting Tux in person, and then seeing Skaza while we were there. These are people that I'm so glad to surround myself with. These are people that I'm so happy to be able to call my friends. I was so nervous when I first, figured out that all this was happening, despite the fact that I've known Flap and I've known Tux for 2 years. 2 years! We've come up in the same projects, we've done the same things together, and to be able to just vibe immediately with somebody, that's something you can't fake. I've never felt so positively after an MCM that I can think of in my entire life. In all the time I've been going, this has been the one that's really meant the most to me. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who made MCM what it was. Thank you so much. Lou, Flap, Tux, Skaza, Joey, Gav, Tom Scar, Dan, Eddie. Thank you all so much. I'm so genuinely happy. So there we go. That's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to talk about this week. If you enjoyed these kind of more chill, lo-fi, just kind of rambly vlogs, then I don't know if I could call them vlogs really, but if you enjoy these kind of more chatty, rambly videos, then, you know, let me know in the comments and maybe I'll do some more in the future. As always, if you did enjoy this video, then do leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more beautiful voice-based content. Keep your eyes out for my next video. I do upload every 2 weeks, but until then, thank you very, very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching if you watched it. I know a lot of people like to have my stuff on in the background, but either way, thank you so much for being here. Thank you again to everybody who made MCM so special this year. I will truly, genuinely treasure these memories that we made. And above all else, I hope all of you magical, wonderful souls stay wonderful.